Wait, we're in reverse. This is weird.
This one's not in reverse, though.
Wait, that's the one that's not in reverse?
That's the one that's not in reverse.
This one's not in reverse.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's in reverse.
This one's mirror, this one's right.
Where? Who?
Look at the words.
You look like you're like landing a 747 over there.
Too soon. Sorry.
Oh, what a way to go.
That's literally my worst nightmare.
Sucked out of a fucking...
Was she sucked out?
Sucked out of like a small hole that then her face and head went through and became a bigger hole. And then they had to pull her out.
And she
didn't get sucked out.
No.
Up to like her body. Yeah. Ugh.
It's like my worst nightmare in the whole world.
Hi everybody. Welcome to
now?
Post-Mortem Talk with the Rude Cooking School podcast.
Hi.
As you can see, we have a guest.
That's me.
His name is
Jim Meyer.
and he's a bastard. So,
And where are you from, Jim?
Beautiful, exotic Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's
Born
exotic.
and raised.
I'm sure many of you do know him. He's a local comedian and has his own podcast, the Laugh Finder podcast, which is excellent.
It really is.
It really
It's
is.
the best podcast I'm doing, right? Not including this one, but like the best one that I do. One of the two best podcasts I'm doing.
My mom says hi.
Hi, Mom. Oh yeah, I keep looking over there and it's confusing.
Yeah, this is Facebook and that's
Instagram.
Huh.
So
Why is
we-
Facebook backwards? Is that so
Because
Russians
John,
can enjoy it?
Well, yeah, that's why.
I flipped it. I flipped it
He
so
put-
everybody can...
He
So
put his thing down, flipped it, and reversed it.
it's your...
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting.
It's very exciting.
So, this is the pre-show for episode 60, and the topic for the pre-show is...
Food you like to cook for yourself.
So let's start it off. Guest,
Guess.
Yeah?
what do you like to cook for yourself when you're alone and naked?
When I'm alone and naked?
Preferably bacon.
I mean, you don't have to be naked.
Because I like to grill when I'm by myself, and I don't usually do that nude because my neighbors
Would call the police.
would call friends.
Gotcha.
And, like a little viewing party
That's fair.
would ensue. I grill. I'll get a steak or something.
Okay.
And bake a potato.
Treat yourself.
Treat
Yeah.
myself, you know. If I got a couple days, I have this Szechuan noodle recipe that I really like a pork Szechuan peanut noodle.
That sounds nice.
It's like a street thing that I got it some cooking magazine like 10 years ago, but I make it probably 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah,
Nice.
special
Delicious.
thing.
Yeah.
Is now okay. So now this comes up a lot. Do you cook it? Do you cook the steak by yourself because your wife isn't a fan of steak?
No, it's just cheaper.
It's yeah.
Buy her
That's
a
true.
steak.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And I like it more than she does.
Yes.
Christy says grilled cheese.
Christy says grill. You like a grilled cheese by yourself?
Sounds good.
Yeah. No. How about you?
Okay, so funny story. So I was telling Kate at dinner, like, what the pre-show topic was. Kate's my fiance, so if you hear that name. And she kind of just gave me this dead look, and she was like, ramen, cheese in the microwave. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, and mac and cheese with hot dogs in it.
Ramen and cheese?
Well, no. 2 separate things. I like to cook 3 different things when I'm by myself.
What's cheese in the microwave?
I take cheese, and I melt it in the microwave, and I eat it melted. Sometimes
So just
on
melted
bread.
cheese.
Sometimes on bread. Yeah.
But sometimes it's just a pile of goo.
Yeah. It's so good.
I fucking hate you so much.
But she straight up...
There is...
What I was going to say.
There is no bottom to the fucking garbage hole you are. It amazes me how much of a garbage person you are.
It's
It's
fine.
great.
It's great. I mean, there's nothing
I'm
wrong
not
with it. It's just like, I don't...
Oh, no. I'm not going to say I've never done it,
Right.
but that's not like my first, like...
That's not your go-to?
Yeah, like,
What kind of cheese?
hold on.
Any kind that's in the fridge.
Okay.
Currently.
So, are you spooning it in?
Like a fork.
Yeah.
It's like a deconstructed mozzarella stick. Without the breading.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like cheese.
Whatever you have to say to get through your day.
Yeah,
It's a
whatever makes it right in your
deconstructed-
head. Yeah.
I mean, it's just cheese at a different temperature.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, it's comfort food, right?
Yeah, it's good.
And I get the ramen.
And I usually, for ramen, I would be, if I want to make it, I'd see what veggies I have in the freezer.
Oh, and you fancy it up?
Yeah, or like I always throw an egg in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like make it all fancy.
My wife was in Kentucky not long ago, and I spent a whole day like slow smoking ribs.
Nice.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then I ate many of them.
Those kind of projects are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whole day thing.
Have you ever tried putting cheese in the microwave?
Cheese.
Slow smoking ribs sounds
way
great.
more horrifying than cheese.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what you're saying that I'm saying, but
Yeah.
cheese.
Slow smoking ribs is a really good way to go, but you know how to do that quicker? Just throw cheese in the microwave.
What else? You got?
So, raw cookie dough. Oh, shit.
And my mom said that my stepdad said grilled cheese as well.
Your mom said cereal.
On
You
the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Your mom cooks cereal.
my mom said
I
the
didn't see where you got
cereal
your-
count.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, a bowl of cereal.
Like making a bowl of cereal.
Like making a bowl of cheese.
Right.
It's not like you're really cooking it.
Just throw it in.
When I was younger, one of the first things I ever cooked was ramen, just because it was easy. You know,
Yeah.
As a child, as like a 7 or 8 year old. First thing I ever learned was an egg. So like, when I was a kid and up till even now, like if I'm alone, just a fried egg or scrambled eggs is nice, preferably with Spam in it or hot dogs.
Yes.
But I asked Leanne, I said,
Always put hot dogs.
what do you
in
think
everything.
my go-to is when you're not around? She was like, it's chili dogs. And I was like, it's chili dogs. So yeah, it's
Right.
chili dogs.
Yeah.
Or I don't do ramen because I don't eat packaged ramen anymore, really. Of course, yes. But
I mean,
But,
there's,
yeah.
there's an age you get to where like you get hit with this guilt fairy if you eat ramen. I've
Yeah.
found. Like all my friends stopped eating ramen around. I'd say,
packaged ramen.
yeah,
Yeah.
around the same age. I'd
Yeah.
say maybe like everybody was done by like 32. I
Yeah,
think.
it's nice though. Like every now and then, like a couple times a year, like I'll buy a package of it, like a block of it, and it'll last almost all year. It's just a quick thing to make for Crosby sometimes, really.
It's so good.
Jesse bought a bunch of it recently and she tried to fancify it up with like scrimps and so
Right.
forth.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah.
Delicious.
All right. So what do
We
you
have all the
guys?
flavor
What do you guys
packets
have out
still,
there?
if you want them.
What do you
Yeah. I'll
What do you
put it
make
in
out
my
there?
cheese.
What do you, when you're by yourself, what do you cook? What are you guys doing?
What do you got, Instagram? Well, pull up the iPad.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'll read some stuff. I'm just thinking about melted cheese right now. Lunch meat, ham fried with cheese on toast, mayo, and spread hots.
Damn,
Damn.
that sounds good. So like a fried ham and grilled cheese
Yeah.
with mayo. Yeah.
My mom lives with us and she's 85 and she no longer gives any fucks. And
Word.
so the things she makes herself are frequently horrifying. Like last Easter, I brought all these like really nice Italian amaretto cookies with like a little cherry in the middle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we went camping for 2 days before and came back on Sunday. And I bought like a 50 count of these cookies, figuring my mom will eat some.
Yeah.
We got home and she'd eaten every cookie. She'd eaten most of every cookie. She had gnawed around the cherry with her gums because she doesn't have teeth. You know, she just gummed around the cherry and then put back the cookie cores that had been old lady gnawed back in the box and was like, I
Old
saved
lady
them so we'd
gnawed.
still have them for Easter. I'm like, I'm not going to give everyone pre-chewed cookies, Mom. That's
Oh
not
my god. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Kate, you missed John judging me for my cheese. Whatever. It's good.
So we asked people earlier, and
My
here,
mom says that your mom sounds adorable.
She is adorable. Most of the time. She's
yeah.
horrifying sometimes. Because, you know, she knows all my weaknesses. Like,
Right.
she's had a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knows where to get you.
Mm-hmm.
Jen Hull said grilled salmon in Asian black pepper marinade on baby greens and dried cranberries with feta cheese and sesame dressing. Damn.
He understood after he judged.
See, Kate's on my side.
Homie, you were like, it's cool. You were like, I've done that
No, I
before.
didn't. Kate doesn't know.
He said he's done it before.
No, he said he can't say... He didn't have the,
He
like,
can't say he
cojones
hasn't
to...
done it before.
Yeah.
I've definitely done it before.
Okay, now
There
you-
it is.
But I was also probably super high and didn't have anything to eat except for like some chips and didn't want to.
I
Like,
feel
you know
like
how
you
you try
get
to eat like tortilla chips when you're high and it's like shards of glass because it's just so dry?
And then you find out you've been eating drywall?
Yes, exactly. So here's one for you. Mac and cheese with cut up hot dogs. That's Hannah's.
Hannah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you agreed.
Yes. So good.
See, the only thing I cut up hot dogs in is baked beans.
Nah, I don't like beans.
It's a magical fruit.
Yeah, we went into that. Oh, and she likes lemon curd, and she sits there and eats it with vanilla wafers.
Vanilla wafers are dope.
Where do you guys stand on the cheese curd thing?
I like cheese curds.
I like
Fried
cheese
cheese
curd.
curds are good.
I just had
Squeaky cheese.
What do you call it? The Clark burger. Poutine.
Yeah.
It was just gross. It was just
Because it's squeaky.
I don't know. It's just big lumps of just doughy,
It's just squeaky.
room temperature.
Kind of melty.
Yeah.
It's
Like
melty
my
on the
mac and cheese.
outside.
If it's a little melty, it's good, but when it's cold, yeah.
Yeah, no cold curds.
Jason Perlow said, burger with melted blue cheese and bacon and caramelized onions on it. My wife hates blue cheese. So it's
Typically,
fine, doesn't
it involves melted cheese and or chocolate. I can get down with that.
Who is that? Oh, that's Katie. Hey, Katie.
Very high tech yet confusing setup here.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
like, this is like the Neverland over here, and then this one we have to turn our heads like
Yeah, I know.
Schnauzer
Former-
here to whistle.
Instagram is the worst.
Former guest and friend of the podcast, Brian Levy, said meatloaf and pea soup.
Yeah, Kate read that and she was like, "Who's this garbage person?" And I was like, "It's Brian."
Yeah, I mean, Brian's not going to...
I mean, him and I are kindred spirits on the garbage level.
Totally. But, I mean, meatloaf and pea soup, that's not garbage. What are you on for? Meatloaf's hard to make. Good meatloaf? Kenneth Shire said quesadillas. Sheer. Is it sheer?
Yeah.
Quesadillas. Andy Gleason, a man after your own heart, said hot dogs and beans. He said this is also on my list of last meals.
Ooh.
That, by the way, almost ended my parents' marriage before I was born or even conceived.
Hot dogs and beans?
Well, I guess it was like my mom decided to treat my dad, do something special. They had been married for a couple of months. And on a Saturday, he came home from work, and she'd bought T-bone steaks and like baked potatoes and made this whole thing. And he just said, "Saturday's hot dogs and beans day."
Oh, no.
And she cried and packed a bag. And,
Oh,
but they made it. They made it.
Yeah,
And here I am.
that's an ass whooping,
So,
though. You do
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Yeah, he wasn't the sharpest, I'm guessing.
So give me
We
a
just
sec-
missed Jeff Rowland. He wrote everything because he's single and 150 years old.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. You're going
Okay.
to die alone,
Well.
Jeff.
That was so rude.
You hit me, you fucker!
Yeah.
Jeff, in a
You
sense, we
hit
all
Jeff
die
right in
alone.
his heart. Alright, Kate said, but like, I imagine the meatloaf inside of the pea soup.
Oh,
That's gross.
that's totally different. See,
I-
Jeff laughed. He knows he's going to die alone.
I got you, Jeff. You laughed because I assaulted you.
That's probably why I laughed. You hurt me.
Yeah.
Lucinda Lanson said pierogies with tons of butter. That sounds
Ooh.
awesome. Add onions to that, and I'm on board. Jason Scott said omelet. 4+ years as a diner line cook, paying off. And he said, "In fact, I'm gonna make one myself tonight for dinner." Omelets are omelets and like scrambled eggs. So
Yeah.
much fun to just fucking
Have you
because
ever-
it's quick and it's satisfying.
Have you had the Goldilocks omelet at Golden West?
No.
And it's like, it has smoked salmon, cream cheese, and I think they serve it with like onions and capers.
Whoa.
It's so good.
What's Goldilocks about that?
Lox.
Lox.
Oh,
Salmon.
Salmon.
Lox.
gotcha.
Yeah. It's probably Goldie
I was thinking
LOX.
salmon. Bears
Yeah,
eat
LOX.
salmon. Like, I don't even...
Mari Cruz said, Bananas Foster. I don't care who's around. I'm not sharing. I worked hard to be able to afford this Talenti Madagascan vanilla bean
Damn
gelato. Get the
fucking
fuck out of here.
Right. You eat that Talenti, girl.
So, does Patty think yours is Chinese takeout?
Why?
Because she wrote Chinese takeout. The bottom.
Yeah, I mean, but that, I don't
She
make
thinks that's
that.
what you cook for yourself is Chinese takeout because you.
I'd
lazy.
order Chinese takeout.
You're-
What's
you're
your
garbage
go-to
person.
order?
Either chicken or beef with broccoli, depending on how I'm feeling. And then a Philadelphia roll and a free order of wonton soup.
You're
Do
in
you need
Hamden.
another
What's
beer?
your...
Asian
Yes.
taste.
Can you grab him that, please?
Oh my god, that's the only place that I think I've ever gotten food poisoning.
Really?
And like twice.
Yeah, I'm sure. It'll
All right.
happen to me.
Anybody else? Anybody going?
But,
what are we doing?
But like the dinner specials there come
Melted
with pork fried
cheese and
rice
or
and an egg
chocolates.
roll. So like I've had like 3 or 4 meals out of like this one meal. So
New China 2 all the way.
Where's that one at?
That's the one in where the giant is. And
Oh, okay. I've had them before.
Nothing
but
anybody-
I always
okay.
just go to.
Cream chip beef, always easy to make in a hurry. Fuck yeah, dude. Cream chip beef. Like,
get a little shit on a shingle.
yeah, right? Well, shit on a shingle technically is beef. Like
Yeah.
like ground beef.
No,
Chip beef
You
is
just
chip
duded
beef.
my future mother-in-law.
I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't think you're right on this.
I am.
No.
Shit on a shingle is ground beef.
Are you sure?
That's what my dad told me when they would
shit
eat
on
that
a
stuff.
Shit on shingle is like chip beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would bet good
chip
money
beef
on
on
this.
white bread.
Anybody out there actually know? Is anybody in the military out there?
Or Google. Does anyone out there Google?
Anybody have the Google?
It was always my understanding that shit on a shingle, because chip beef was chip beef, shit on a shingle was ground beef in a, like a cream sauce like chip beef. Because all chip beef
I
is
think shit on a
beef in
shingle is just like shit on white bread.
Maybe it's both. But I know that in Vietnam they called that shit because they would get these giant cans of it, and we would go to the local swap meet kind of deal down over.
Can be made either way.
Okay,
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, just
We're
because
all
they
right.
called
Thank
something
you.
that in Vietnam. I mean, in Vietnam they called every Asian person Charlie.
Sure.
We can't go to trust
Yeah.
this. This is like they made a lot
Of
of
course,
bad decisions.
but no. Even since then, I've seen shit on a shingle as ground beef.
Definitely chip beef. That's
Oh.
what we've got over here on Instagram.
She doesn't know shit.
On a shingle.
Hey.
All right, let's do this then.
Okay.
Thanks for getting all the answers in, everybody.
That was great. Keep up the good work, guys. And now my mom is also chiming in and said chip of both ways acceptable. So many moms tonight.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, moms.
Thanks, ma'am.
Were people able to hear all that?
Oh yeah. For sure.
Don't I feel like a real boy?
Hey, is this thing on? Are we doing a podcast?
Don't fuck up.
Okay.
Don't fuck yourself.
What?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. My name is John Hauser III, and with me is the ever shitty and never on a shingle.
Rebecca Matriaga!
Hey!
Hey! Whoa, hold on. You hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything either.
What the fuck was that?
Is it a ghost?
Yeah.
There's something behind you.
I am the ghost
Extra
of podcasts
Spoopy.
past.
We have a guest today.
It's a ghost.
It's the ghost of, I don't know. I was gonna make another bad joke about Jeff, but I'm gonna leave him alone.
Leave Jeff alone.
Our guest today is comedian, writer, actor, the co-host of the Laugh Finder podcast, right?
Yeah.
You're a co-host.
Well, there's one of the members. I
One of the
would say.
members.
We're an
But you're-
ensemble.
But the
Ooh,
intros
good
are done
word.
by you and Tommy.
yes.
So would you consider you guys co-hosts, or you
We're
just
all
take up
there.
you just take up the mantle?
We just do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like 1,000 people in his podcast. So
556,000.
it's exactly.
Yeah. If you're listening, you're probably part of our podcast.
There's
You're probably
There's
you
a
don't know it,
chance.
but Tuesday nights you've been in my basement.
There are more people in his podcast that listen to our podcast. Comedian Jim Meyer is with us.
We have more than
Hey.
2 people on our podcast.
What?
I was just being a dick.
God damn it.
Damn
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are y'all? It's so good to finally meet you. I've
I
seen
know.
you on the interwebs.
I know
and-
it's been never. I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Jim and I have known each other for a few years now. Leanna and him went to school together, is that
We
right?
did indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
St. Mary's College of Maryland.
I first
Oh,
heard
wow.
of Jim
Isn't that in the middle of nowhere?
It's in the middle of St. Mary's,
St. Mary's
County.
County, yeah.
Yes.
So nowhere.
Pretty much nowhere.
Okay.
but it's the most beautiful nowhere you'll ever go.
Right.
It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like their
It's a lovely
campus-
part of nowhere.
Yeah, their
Oh,
campus
on
is
the
they
water.
got like a lake and
It's a
Oh,
river,
that's nice.
technically.
well, what's
the
the
pond?
thing? Yeah, the pond.
It's a liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a liver.
But you don't go in the pond. It's like a.
I've been in the pond.
Well, you were probably wasted.
I was
Yeah.
It sounds about
frisbee
right.
golf,
Mm-hmm.
naked.
Fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
We were walking by that. There's this kid we called Mayberry. He was from the south somewhere. And he was standing in the middle of the frozen pond with a large rock.
Oh no!
And he was dropping
I hope he drowned.
the rock,
That's not smart.
presumably to test the thickness of the ice. And this
While
kid,
he was on it.
yeah, and this other kid, George, was like, "Maybe what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Dropping a rock." And then they're like, "What if the ice breaks?" And he had got this look on his face like that he'd never thought of that.
Like in his head,
And
it
I was
would
like,
only crack at the
I guess
most.
I'll fall. Like that. That's
Yeah,
what he
then
said.
you die.
And then we just kept going.
But the first time I'd ever heard of Jim,
We should have just let the South secede,
And I'm-
honestly.
I'm sure I was at parties down there, and we'd been around each other at parties. But the first time I had heard of Jim Meyer the comedian, it's Meyer, right? It's not
Meyer,
Myers,
not Myers,
right?
no.
Jim Meyer the comedian. It was Jeff. So one day we're at the bar, and Jeff goes, "I saw the fucking weirdest shit last night." And I went, "What'd you see?" He said, "I saw this comedian, and he came out dressed like Dr. Doom."
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Dr. Doom
Yeah.
from the Fantastic? And I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yeah." And this guy proceeded to do nothing but Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom, like a whole, 15 to 20 minute bit.
Actually, it was a tight 6.
Was it? What was it?
I timed it out as it was like the idea in my head was that if Dr. Doom was on Conan. So it was a 6-minute set, and it was I basically did every offensive ethnic joke I'd ever heard, but make them about the Fantastic Four. So it was like a priest, a rabbi, and the Fantastic Four in a rowboat. And like,
God.
Oh my god!
hilarity ensued.
And I was so like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then it turns out years later it was Jim. And I was like, "Oh wow,
That's beautiful.
oh wow."
that was my first thing that I
By the way, this has become a thing on our podcast too now. Anytime one of us naturally goes, "Oh wow," then the other one goes, "Oh wow."
yeah, it's all
I do that in my office,
a
too.
tribute to Owen Wilson
Yeah.
through Brian Preston.
Brian Preston on his podcast is a character who's a
Who-
6 foot tall lizard man.
More like 7. More like
7 foot tall lizard
Okay,
man
don't leave out an extra foot.
who speaks like Owen Wilson.
Wow.
It's like,
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. His name's
Sobek Fun Murder.
yeah, Sobek Fun Murder.
Oh.
Our podcast is a big nerdy podcast. We play
I
a
wasn't
game
gonna say
called
it.
Starfinder. The first 2 seasons was Pathfinder, but it's basically D&D for
Nissan
nerds
Pathfinder?
in space. Yes, it's Nissan Path. It's basically that's what we do. We
Yeah.
just talk about
You drive the
season
Nissan
3.
Pathfinder.
We're gonna talk about the Murano.
Oh.
Every season is a new
And then
Nissan
Ultima is
SUV.
coming up in
Yeah.
a couple seasons. Yeah, you just gotta hit all the Nissans. I get it.
But yeah, we'll talk
Maximum.
more about that in a bit. Let's get to the. Did you have anything great this week?
I just had that chicken
Food.
pot pie tonight.
Oh.
Pretty dope.
Well, what was where was it?
At Towson Diner on York Road.
Was it chickeny and potty?
Yeah. Potty?
Yeah.
I mean,
Were there turds in? Is what I'm saying.
no, there's no turds. There was potatoes and
Normal pot pies.
yeah,
But it was good.
it was good. Yeah.
Was it flaky and delicious?
Yes, very flaky.
Golden brown GDD.
Oh yeah.
Golden brown and delicious. You all right
Yes.
there?
I'm having heartburn right
Are
now.
you? I was about to say, are you burping from the beer we're drinking?
I also had a crab pretzel, so it's like.
It's crawling back up.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
have listeners outside of the Maryland region who are wondering what the fuck a crab pretzel is?
We've talked about them before, but yeah, we do. We've been getting a lot of Sweden lately.
So, side note, if you don't know what a crab pretzel is, it's a soft pretzel, hot soft pretzel, covered in blue crab
dip,
which is like
cream cheese and onions
and mayonnaise and all that.
Crab.
and
jazz.
Old Bay, which is a seasoning.
And then they cover it in a thick layer of melted cheese.
Melted cheddar cheese, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a health food here.
It's,
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually it's a staple.
It's a pre-workout food.
Like if you
Yes.
go on if you do like
Carb
a
loading.
marathon, it's what they have at the
Right.
15-mile mark.
Oh God,
You just
Yeah. Actually, when you're born,
can you imagine?
when you're born
Oh, God.
in Maryland, they as an infant they give you a crab pretzel and you eat it.
That's what you sleep in. You got to eat your way out of it.
Yeah, that's
That's the only way you can
How-
live in
how it
Baltimore.
is.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
in Catholic school, the priest have the what do you call it? The thing
Holy
that
water thing?
that like shoots the holy water
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, in Maryland, it's Old Bay.
right. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Ow, my eye!
Ow, it stings.
It's salty.
I had a depressing food tease this week.
What's that?
We were supposed to, like a client was taking us, or like a contractor was going to take us, my whole team out to lunch at the that fancy Kevin Plank hotel.
Oh, the Pendry.
Oh, the Pendry, yeah.
The Sagamore Pendry.
Mm-hmm.
But it got canceled like 2 hours before.
Oh, that sucks.
Bastards.
Yeah, and I didn't bring a lunch that day. It's screwed.
So you had to go to 7-Eleven and get a big bite.
I just dove into the harbor,
Oh,
out with like some
With a
ground
body.
trout, like just some bottom fish.
Oh, yeah.
I would tell you didn't miss anything, but you kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird though. Like their food's Italian.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like an Italian steakhouse, right?
Yeah, which is
Very
weird.
strange.
Because like when you think of like high-end steakhouse, you don't think like let's serve Italian food, you know. But they do, and it's really good.
Here it is.
I did a hard hat tour of that place, but I haven't been since it opened.
It's
But
beautiful.
they have like they found a couple of cannons when they did you like
What?
that's why they call the bar, the Scotch bar there. It's
Yeah.
like called the Cannon Bar or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Because they found old cannons in the muck when they were.
I'm not surprised.
Digging
They're
the-
dredging it out.
And then
Yeah.
so they put them because it's a port,
Yeah.
it is a port, but they put them in like glass cases under the floor in the bar. So there's
Oh, wow.
there's one in the bar
Oh,
and there's
wow.
one on Oh wow.
That's really cool.
Brian Preston, that one's for you.
Yeah.
So Nick. You did our podcast.
Yes, I did do your podcast. It was fucking great. It was a lot of fun. I actually rolled a natural 20. I was happy as a motherfucker.
Don't know or care what.
You know about Dungeons and Dragons. You roll the dice, and
I-
it's like don't act like you don't know,
I've never played Dungeons.
but you know the mechanics.
I
of it.
know about a 20-sided die.
Yes, I rolled a 20-sided dice, and I rolled a 20,
Okay.
which is double the hurdy.
Congratulations.
I don't
So
even know
much
what to say.
attention to detail. Do you guys ever just break down on like bare knuckle box? Is that how this works?
It's happened before.
Yeah, I always win. So.
Good job.
I let her win. I have had a pretty good run. I made fish chowder
Ooh,
Ooh, chowder.
on Sunday.
harbor fish.
I was gonna do just salmon.
Sea trout.
Yeah. I haven't seen that guy yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He wasn't there the first
I
the
hope
first
he's
week.
still alive.
You know
He's
the
getting out there.
the sea trout guy at the
No
farmer's
idea.
market? He's like,
No.
He's like an
sea trout,
older.
best fish on the planet.
He's
Like,
an older
that guy.
like, black guy with like gray dreads.
He looks like Famous Amos. He does. He looked, maybe he had the beard and it would start turning gray and shit.
Yeah, maybe trout was the secret ingredient in Famous Amos's cookies.
Ooh, makes sense.
Chocolate and fish.
Yep.
Do you remember
Great
the
combo.
taxi episode with Famous
I
Amos?
do.
Famous Amos.
Yeah, he had a weird way of talking.
Yeah, well, he didn't talk like that. Latka talked like that.
Oh, that's what
Latka
it was.
made cookies using his grandmother's secret recipe, and they became a huge hit. And then it turned out the reason was the secret ingredient was cocaine.
Right, and everybody's eating the cookies and getting all jazzed up and shit.
There it is.
And so when he was going through withdrawal, he hallucinated Famous Amos descending angel-like from the ceiling to talk to him about cookies.
That sounds beautiful.
It was one of the most beautiful things in American artistic culture.
Yeah, I believe it.
But yeah, I made this. I was gonna do just salmon and then decided to add some cod. It was really really good.
Two fine fish there.
Yeah, potatoes, corn, lots of onions, leeks, just a whole melange of things.
And you made skin puffs.
Oh yeah, so the salmon came with the skin on the side, so I took the skin off, butchered the skin off, and then coated it with olive oil and salt and pepper, and then put it in a 300-degree oven. Then after about 30-45 minutes, had a giant puffy salmon skin cracker.
How thick was the cracker?
It was a good 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch thick.
Damn.
In parts, it was over 1/2 inch. Like
She thick.
it had
2 C's.
yeah, it had puffed up.
Yeah.
Because what you do is when you do anything skin like pork, or you want to do
Yeah.
a chicharron or whatever, you gotta scrape the fat off the side that was connected to the fish.
Okay.
So if you just scrape it to where you just have skin,
Yeah.
the skin just
Huh.
like the key.
You mean it expands?
It puffs
Because
up
this is a podcast.
like
people
a
can't see.
pork rind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like when you make pork rinds, chicharrones, a lot of people, the best way to do them is to boil it to where it gets really soft and then dry it out for a couple days to where it's like hard plastic. And then you take your hot oil and put the hard plastic skin chips in there and it instantly pops. It's like magic. It's fucking amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
It
fun.
takes like a day or two because you got to really dry them out. If you have a dehydrator, it works way better.
Yeah.
I use the oven, so like 200 degrees just to get all moisture out of them.
Right.
But it's like magic, and they're super airy, and they're like little puffy skin clouds.
Wow, that sounds horrifying. Puffy skin, everybody.
Skin cloud. But yeah, it was good, and I made so much of it. I just had to freeze a quart of it because we had it 3 nights. We just finished the 3rd pint quart tonight. So
sounds great.
Yeah, other things I'm sure, but
does your son eat stuff?
He eats everything.
Wow.
His favorite snack is Kalamata olives.
And anchovies.
He does eat anchovies with me, yeah.
Man, my kids...
Oh, no, sardines.
Sardines. They're all the same.
Yeah, sardines on toast.
It's
a very European thing. Sardines on toast with salt and, like, flaky salt and pepper.
Bougie ass kid.
Yeah. But I make him eat all it. Like, ever since he was a baby, we've had a rule. You gotta try everything once. And most of the time, he likes it. When he doesn't, okay. And then you put that in your back pocket for another 6 months and try to reintroduce it. But most things, like, if he could eat that salmon chowder every day, he would. He was like every now and then I'll make something and he'll straight up look at me and be like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever had in my life. Thank you for making this." And I'm like, "Oh." But yeah, stuff like that.
Did you say that to him when he made you that hot dog?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
My kids are like that if it's frozen chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Like I tried to make them like, I just like, fuck it, I'll make them chicken nuggets this week. So I cut up chicken and bread it and made like chicken nuggets, and
it's not
they
the
were
same, yeah.
horrified by it.
Yeah.
Well, the one ate it.
They were looking at you like you were the Antichrist.
Yeah, like, how dare you, sir?
Did you brine the chicken?
No.
Yeah, that's your downfall right there.
It was still very good.
Oh yeah, homemade chicken nuggets are great, but if you brine them, it gives them the texture of the store-bought ones because it has they're really moist and spongy. Yeah, they're really moist and spongy, you know, and it changes the texture of what was it, like breast meat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it changes the texture of the breast meat. So next time, try that.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let them just graze in the frozen section of the giant.
Are they the dinosaur ones?
We haven't done those. We try and pretend we're being healthy and get like Nature's Promise.
Those are garbage. Yeah. Sorry, we get those every now and then, and they're like we've had the dinosaur ones. Leanna tries to go with she's done the Nature's Promise one, but they're real dry. She has found a brand because like every kid likes fucking chicken tenders, and some nights I don't feel like cooking. Leanna doesn't feel like cooking. We're like chicken tenders, you know, or fish sticks or whatever the fuck. We have them. It's just most of the time Crosby eats whatever we eat. Mm-hmm. And I think it's literally just because we've made an effort to sort of just wear him down since he was a little kid. So it's not weird to him where when friends come over and eat with us, they're like, "I'm not eating any of that shit." You know? But we make them eat it.
Right.
Because I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry. We got nothing else." And then the kid tries it and they're like, "Oh." You know?
Yeah.
So...
And they spit it into a fern when you're not looking.
Exactly. Slipping it to the dog.
I wouldn't eat hot dogs as a kid, and my cousin Slicker. Yeah, I don't know. She made me eat hot dogs.
Was it she?
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, Slicker.
Yeah, her real name's Claire.
Did she fight Ninja Turtles and shit?
Nickname. She could have kicked the Ninja Turtles ass.
Oh, okay.
She still could.
Slicker.
Shout out Slicker.
Yeah, 2 weeks is her 70th birthday. This one goes
Holy
out to you,
shit.
Slick.
Wow, cheers.
Anyway, Slick made me eat hot dogs, and I was terrified of Slicker, so she wouldn't let me leave the table until I'd eaten this hot dog. And this is like, so finally, like 1 o'clock, I've eaten a hot dog, she lets me go. My dad picks me up after work at 4, takes me home, and I just ran to the trash can and spit out a hot dog.
You had them in your mouth that
For
long?
4.5 fucking hours.
Oh my God.
I just like beaver cheeked these fucking hot dogs. Now I love hot dogs. It's amazing how if you suck on something for 4 hours, you develop a taste for it.
It fucking fermented in your mouth.
Yeah, into some sort of deliciousness.
Ugh, that kind of makes me want to projectile vomit.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is anybody watching this now?
No.
Not anymore.
That's why we're going to end it.
See ya.
Adios.
So, we always do a thing where we kind of look at each other and then you'll hear one of us go, "Oh," or "Okay."
Okay.
And then there's a pause. Because what we're going to do is, now I'm going to turn around and we're all going to talk and do the actual podcasting part. And then I'll splice those 2 parts together so there's no seam.
Oh my God, that's magic.
Yeah.
It is magic.
Did you hear the... Oh, I said, yeah.
I'm gonna grab a couple other beers. Would you like another after this?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Do you want to try? You want another one of these? Or you want to try the Pilsner?
Can I try the pills?
Yeah. Do you want to try it now? So you know
No.
what you're getting into? Okay. I don't want to get pink eye.
Pink tongue.
Can you bring me some water, John?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
No problem.
So what kind of graphic design do you do?
Right now, I'm the in-house designer for the Office of Service Development at MTA.
Okay.
So I work with a lot of Baltimore Link stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly bus stuff. But I'm doing a lot of like internal, like guide designs and shit like that. It's like busy work. And I'm also in charge of like updating the schedules when we have service changes and all that shit. But I also do a lot of like freelance work.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, John didn't turn off the live.
The what?
John, you didn't turn off the fucking live.
Turn off the what?
The live. Bye, guys.